You are getting sleepy, very sleepy. Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 19 of our No Nonsense November. Today, our tool of the day is self-hypnosis. Do we need crazy swinging pendulums or things to hypnotize ourselves? No, not generally speaking. Let me hang this back up so I don't forget where my little emergency magnifying glass is. So, self-hypnosis, or just hypnosis in general, is basically a form of and a process that helps us get into a self-induced hypnotic state, right? Well, what's a hypnotic state? It's not a trance, it's a focused state of being. It's a point where our consciousness is kind of suspended and we are in a trance-like state, a dream-like state. It's a lot like a dream. In our dreams, we don't sit and judge consciously whether something is real or not. We just dream and experience it as if it were really happening to us. We want to do the same thing when we use self-hypnosis. We want to be in a very relaxed, very calm state where we can offer suggestions to our mind. It's really a form of self-suggestion, right? Self-hypnosis is a form of suggestion. Hypnosis is a form of suggestion. And it's a way to impact our subconscious mind. Our brain, our subconscious cannot distinguish between real or imagined events. All of us have an imagination, therefore all of us have the ability at some level to be hypnotized, including self-hypnosis. So how do you go about doing this? Well, number one, I say I'm not going to teach you how to do self-hypnosis. It took me a while to figure out how to do it on myself, and how I figured it out is different than how you're going to be able to figure it out if you've never tried it before. I recommend YouTube, literally thousands and thousands of videos on it with millions and millions of hits on how to do it. Just type how to self-hypnotize or self-hypnosis and you'll get a gazillion results. You can read books. You can get hypnotic coaches. You can go to a hypnotist and have them hypnotize you. You can, I learned originally by reading books on self-hypnosis, and there were a lot of different examples of self-hypnosis scripts and things that I could read and follow along and learn how to hypnotize myself. Online, if you Google it, there's lots of different, this is the 5-step process, 4-step process, again, 8, 10, 12-step process to self-hypnosis. Most of them involve relaxing, breathing, and then just concentrating and focus on being relaxed. Relaxing, some do, just like hypnosis, relaxation of every muscle in your body, releasing all tension. And then they talk about using auto-suggestion. So if you want to quit something, quit a bad habit, improve something in your life, if you want to start a new process or something, say you want to start a new business, you can increase your confidence, you can create, a new invention, you can be whatever you want. Cancel, stop, the whole cancel, stop, and letting go strategy. That is a form of self-hypnosis. Affirmations, really emphasizing and installing affirmations into our lives. Self-hypnosis is a great way to do that. So there's all different ways you can do it. One of my favorite videos that I looked up was the 5-word self-hypnosis, and it's to be blank, act blank. So to be blank, act blank. Why is that so powerful? Because what we tell ourselves in a hypnotic or self-hypnotic state becomes true for us. It's an incredible way to impact and really supercharge our affirmations. So basically all you have to do, and I'm going to tell you how I do it, is I find a quiet place where I don't think I'm going to be disturbed, because it doesn't work very well to stay hypnotized if I'm being disturbed by other people. So I find a quiet place, usually where the dogs aren't going to bark, and I find a comfortable chair. Sometimes I'm lying down when I use self-hypnosis. Sometimes I'm sitting up. Sometimes I'm just going for a walk and I take a break. I stop in a quiet place. I sit down and I just spend a couple of minutes breathing and focusing on my breath and relaxing, and then reviewing in my mind the things I want, my affirmations, things I want to improve in my life, or areas in my life that I think I'm pretty strong, but I want to get better and better and better, because I've got this, whole continuous improvement track going on in my life all the time. How do you know if you're in a hypnotic trance or not, or state? And I watched a couple videos on this, which I thought were really interesting. One was, you close your eyes and you focus on your hands being stuck together. You imagine your hands being stuck together, and you breathe and relax and just imagine and visualize your hands being stuck together. And if you can pull your hands apart, you're not in a hypnotic trance or state. If you find you're testing yourself that you can't pull your hands apart, then you are in a trance-like subconscious hypnotic state. I think the other one was you imagine that one of your arms is heavier than the other when you think that you're in a relaxed and breathing, calmly and deeply state. You imagine one of your arms is heavier than the other. It doesn't matter which one, your brain will pick an arm. And then you just imagine that it's getting heavier and heavier and that there's a book on it or something. And then in the state, you try to raise that hand, raise that arm. And if you cannot raise it, then you're in a hypnotic state. Now, I'm doing a really glossed over job of explaining this. But if you want to know more about it, like any other tool I suggest, just hop on your phone and Google it or grab a book on it. My friend Abel would say, get a book and read more about it. And I agree 100% because that's where I've learned, I would say 99% of the tools that I'm sharing with you and that I've got on my brainstormed list are things that I have learned from books or a speaker or somebody mentioned it and I heard them talk about it and I was like, I don't really know about this. I want to know more about it. And I would go get a book on it and I would read a book on it. So, self-hypnosis, love to know your experience with this. Any questions about it? I will do the best I can to answer it. I like to use scripts. I read scripts just like I used to read recipe books to learn to become a really good cook. When I was younger, I would read cookbooks. I know it's really weird. I don't know very many people that would just read cookbooks, but I wouldn't bake the recipes. I would just read the cookbooks. I guess that's an example of how we can learn things without actually doing, but it gets reinforced by the doing. I would read all these cookbooks and then I would cook and do and create things. And sometimes they'd work, sometimes they wouldn't, but I had all this base of knowledge. I do the same thing with everything else. I read self-hypnosis scripts all the time, and then I create my own. I mix what I've learned together as I want to be in a self-hypnotic state. All right, any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow for day 20 of our No Nonsense November Tool of the Day, leading up, of course, to the the final 30-day free Get Up and Go challenge this year, starting December 1st. I hope to see you there. Have an awesome day, and I'll be with you tomorrow.